More than 1,000 Lagos retirees received bond certificates worth over 3 billion naira. Federal government toughens border surveillance as Labour declares two-day protest. On quarantine, top UN courts reject South Africa's request for more Gaza measures. And in sports, Governor Fubara confers state honor on Stanley Wabali, announces a 20 million naira gift for the goalkeeper. And now the details. I am Mike James. Over 1,000 retirees who left the service in 2021 and 2022 from the employ of the Lagos State government have received their retirement bond certificates worth over 3 billion naira. In his keynote address, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu acknowledged that the state has covered well over half of the total contributory pension of previous administrations, assured pensioners that the backlog of 4 billion naira will be cleared by April. Governor Sanwo-Olu reiterated his administration's commitment to the welfare of workers in the state, whether active or post-service, and promised to also pay 1-year premium for health insurance scheme under the Ilera Eco program to the beneficiaries. He had this to say.
In everything, we believe that we're in government to make life better for its citizens. We're in government to create succor for its citizens. We're in government to ensure that the security of life and property is paramount for its citizens. And these are our commitment. These are the things we have signed on to, and these are the things that we'll continue to do. But we want pension issues to be an issue of the past. Nobody should retire from Lagos State Public Service, and within the next 2 to 3 months, they should not be able to hand their check.
In a goodwill message, Head of Service Bode Aguru, who commended Governor Sanwo-Olu's administration for prioritizing the welfare of workers and regular remittance of contributory pension as and when due, thanked the retirees for their hard work and invaluable contributions to the state.
Let me also state that the retirement bonds that will be presented to you today are not merely tokens of appreciation. Indeed, they are a symbol of our enduring gratitude and respect for the years of hard work and dedication that you have invested in our public service and our dear states in general.
And earlier in his welcome address, Director General of Lagos State Pension Commission, LASPEC, Babalola Obilano, emphasized the need for financial planning and commended the retirees for their unwavering dedication and passion in contributing to the success of Lagos State in different capacities.
As we celebrate the accomplishments of our retirees, let us also affirm our commitment to upholding the values and principles that we exemplify throughout their career. Retirement is not the end, but rather the beginning of a well-deserved period of relaxation, exploration, and fulfillment of long-held dreams and aspirations. I pray God Almighty grants you good health and long life to enjoy your retirement benefits.
And while responding on behalf of the beneficiaries, Mrs. Miriam Adetokunbo Iku commended Governor Sanwo-Olu for his administration's kind gesture to retirees in the state. Our correspondent, Adjola Akindele, reports that the latest retirement bond presentation is the 103rd batch in its series, as over 141 billion naira has been paid to over 39,000 retirees since inception of LASPEC. In a major move to strengthen the primary health care system and improve access to quality care for residents at the grassroots, the Primary Healthcare Board has commenced the exit replacement of healthcare workers as approved by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Speaking at the screening exercise, Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Primary Healthcare Board Ibrahim Mustafa noted that the recruitment drive will focus on attracting doctors, nurses, pharmacists, medical laboratory professionals, community health workers, health educators, and other allied health professionals. Mustafa said the primary healthcare system is the bedrock of any healthcare system, noting that the board is ensuring that every resident has access to the care they need when they need it. And the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC has directed its members and affiliate unions to begin mobilization for a 2-day national protest expected to take place on February 27 and 28 if the federal government fails to implement all the agreements signed with it in October 2023. The 2-day national protest will take place at the expiration of the 14-day ultimatum it had earlier issued. President of NLC Joe Ajaero, who addressed newsmen at the end of the union's National Executive Council meeting in Abuja, asked members to be on standby for an indefinite strike, which would commence 7 days after the nationwide protest if the government still fails to meet its demands. Ajaero, who noted that Labour is no longer interested in empty talks from the government but in actions, urged the government to immediately implement the agreement and restore faith in the democratic process as Nigerians are struggling to survive. And now to the rest of the stories. The Nigeria Customs Service, Nigeria Immigration Service, Department of State Services and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission have begun a clampdown on smugglers and hoarders of food items nationwide by escalating border surveillance. This is coming after the organized labor declared a 2-day protest against the current economic hardship in the country. According to reports, the task force established by President Bola Tinubu to tackle food hoarding had heightened alert levels at Nigeria's land borders across Borno, Niger, Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi and Jigawa states, describing them as dark spots. The development comes hours after an emergency meeting between the President, Vice President Kashim Shettima and the state governors at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja on Thursday. Troops of the Nigerian Army have killed 254 terrorists and arrested 264 others within 1 week of military operation across the country. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Edward Buba, said this during a press briefing, saying that the ongoing counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations have prevented the evil elements from accomplishing their strategic objectives. Buba reiterated the commitment of the armed forces in degrading terrorist ability to carry out small-scale attacks, which are intended to create panic in localities across operational theaters in the country. And in some foreign news, the UN's top court has rejected South Africa's request to put more legal pressure on Israel to halt a threatened offensive against the Gaza city of Rafah, saying it was bound to comply with existing measures. Pretoria has already filed a complaint against Israel in the International Court of Justice, ICJ, in The Hague, alleging that its assault on Gaza amounts to a breach of the Genocide Convention. The court is yet to rule on the underlying issues, but on January 26, it ordered Israel to ensure it took action to protect Palestinian civilians from further harm and to allow in humanitarian aid. South African officials on Tuesday filed a further request to the court, asking it to order new measures in the light of Israel's preparation of a new operation against Rafah. Meanwhile, Russia has captured some Ukrainian soldiers during the withdrawal of Kyiv's forces from the key town of Avdiivka. Ukraine announced its withdrawal from the town to the northwest of Donetsk city following some of the heaviest fighting in Russia's war in Ukraine. The move followed an intensification of Moscow's attacks on the area in recent weeks as Russia pummeled it with airstrikes and artillery and sent wave after wave of ground assaults by armored vehicles and soldiers. Ukraine's commander of southern forces, Alexander Tanavsky, said withdrawing from the town was the only correct solution and some Ukrainian troops had been captured during the process. And over to sports news, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has announced a 20 million naira reward for Super Eagles goalkeeper Wabali, who participated in the just concluded 2023 African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. Fubara made the announcement when he hosted the Wabali, saying he will also be bestowed with the honor of Distinguished Service Star in Rivers State. The governor also gave the Super Eagles crew, who were present, 30 million naira noting that his administration will sustain purposeful governance and administrative efficiency. And that was our news at 10, but just before we go, always make use of pedestrian bridges where available. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms, X, formerly Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Watch us live on Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe and watch all our previous programs and news on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration provided 450,000 pupils with e-learning devices? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Over 1,000 retirees who left the service in 2021 and 2022 from the employ of the Lagos State Government has received their retirement bond certificates worth over 3 billion naira. The Nigeria Customs Service, Nigeria Immigration Service, Department of State Services, and Economic and Financial Crimes Commission have begun a clampdown on smugglers and hoarders of food items nationwide by escalating border surveillance. We also told you that the UN Stop Court has rejected South Africa's request to put more legal pressure on Israel to halt a threatened offensive against the Gaza city of Rafah, saying it was bound to comply with existing measures. And then in sports, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has announced a 20 million naira reward for Super Eagles goalkeeper Stanley Wabali, who participated in the just concluded 2023 African Cup of Nations in Côte d'Ivoire. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to Lagos Traffic Radio at lagosstates.gov.ng. And that ends the news broadcast. This was compiled by Adirayodu Olaya. Thank you for listening. My name is Mike James. Good morning.